Yeah, so anyway, to all the new students coming in, a very big congratulations, for coming to NUS Chemistry, and we are really very happy to have you, okay? So what I'm going to do in the next maybe 10, 15 minutes or so is to just share with you some stuff that you will find to be very useful in your first semester or second semester in the NUS, and that's it, okay? Because obviously there are a lot of information which we can give you, but I think there's no point telling you everything now. I think let's take one step at a time. I'll tell you what I feel it could be very relevant to you in the coming semester, okay? But I think I would like to sort of begin this talk by maybe asking what I think is a very important question, and that is, what is the purpose of being here in the NUS? Right? I think this is an important question because it basically sets expectations of why are you here, right? So of course, I'm sure that all of you have different answers, and maybe some of you here, your answer could be, I came to NUS because I want to make a lot of friends, which is fantastic. Some of you here maybe came to the NUS because you want to prepare yourself well, professionally, technically, so that when you graduate, you can get a great job. And I think this is also equally valid and equally important. In fact, this is one of the purpose of being here in the NUS. Some of you here maybe came to the NUS because you want to have a lot of fun, which is also fantastic. And I'm sure and I hope that you have a lot of fun, in the next 4 years in the NUS. But there is something which I feel that is very important of why you are in the NUS, the purpose of being here, and that is you are here. One of the most important purpose of being here in the NUS really is to train the mind and to train the character. And this is important because as opposed to, say, for example, just looking for a job and preparing yourself for a job, which is important, of course, but it's not everything, because 4 years from now, you never really know what's going to happen to the world, to the job situation, whatsoever. So it's definitely much more important to train the mind, and to train the character as well. Now, why do I tell you all this? The reason is this: is that in your next, coming 4 years in the NUS, there could be, for example, some courses that you take that may not appear to be very practical. They do seem to have a purpose, but they are very important because they train the mind, you see. So if, let's say, for example, all we want is to do things that are very useful or immediately useful, we can be a bit disappointed, because not everything that you do here in the NUS are immediately useful, have a practical utility. But of course, what definitely will happen is they train the mind, okay, which is very, very important, such that 4 years from now, when you graduate, maybe the job market would have changed significantly, but you will be ready. And this is what we hope to be the case for you. Now, let me now move on to some important people that, or some are not so important like myself, but anyway, here are some of the people whom you probably will meet in your coming 1 year or 1.5 years in the NUS and beyond, okay? So as I mentioned, I'm Jason. I'm the deputy head in the department in charge of education. I'm also the academic advisor, and I work very closely with Carrie Wong, okay? So this is the lady whose photo is on the middle left-hand side of this slide. So anything that to do with academic affairs, okay, like you need to take a course or whatever, you are at a loss on how to plan your timetable whatsoever, we are here to help you, okay? And then on the right-hand side, in the middle, upper middle of this slide is Chin Wee Shong. Professor Chin is the deputy head in the department in charge of administration, but she's also in charge of student life. So what happens is in the coming 1 year or so, you see many new student activities. Some of it are organized by your seniors in the Chemical Sciences Society, but some of these are organized by the department. And Prof. Chin does a lot of this organization together with Linda Wee, okay, so whose photo is in the middle of this page. Now, I'm going to assume that all of you here are chemistry first majors or second majors, in which case you'll be enrolled in CM1102 in August. So I think this is pre-allocated to you, okay? And the person who'll be teaching you 1102 is Adrian Michael Lee. So I put his picture over here. So just a few words about Adrian. Okay, so if you are to look at all the professors in NUS chemistry, and you say, okay, who is the best educator among us all? Okay, I would say there's no doubt is Professor Adrian Michael Lee. Okay, because he has basically won all the teaching awards in the university, in the faculty that you can possibly imagine. So he's the best guy, and we are very happy to have him to be the lecturer for CM1102, okay, which is the first chemistry module that you will be doing in the university. Now, at the bottom of this slide, we have Dr. Junction, and he's the coordinator for level 1 to 4. So you probably see him, I think, at the start of the second semester. It could be for tutorials, allocations, practicals, and so on. And then Michael Yudhishthira is the Europe's coordinator. I'll say a bit more about this in a while, but this is the person that you would contact if you want to do an undergraduate research project. Okay, so many students does this in their third semester in the fourth semester in the NUS. So, but you probably see him probably sometime in your second year. And then we have Edith Chan. So Edith Chan is the exchange program coordinator. So if you want to go to do an exchange, maybe in Korea, in somewhere in Europe or the US, and you need to map your modules, your courses, okay? The courses that you take in the US or whatever, you want to map it into Singapore, into NUS, she'll be the one that you will be talking to. Huh? So these are the faces that you probably will meet in your coming 1.5 years in the NUS. Okay, now, just a few things that could be relevant to you. If you now go to the chemistry webpage, okay, so chemistry.nus.edu.sg, and if you go to this place here, the student portal, which you can log in, in there contains a lot of information. In fact, all the information that you find relevant during your studies in the NUS. So this is what you would see if you go into the web page. For example, okay, if you want to figure out what you need to do to get your chemistry first major, you go there and take a look. Okay, so here's all the information written in black and white that tells you exactly what courses you need to do to get your chemistry first major, or your minors, for example. Okay, if you wish to do undergraduate research, you are trying to figure out how to get there. You can click on the link, and then all the information is there. Scholarships, okay, information about scholarships is in there as well. If you wish to go for an overseas exchange program, those that last for about 6 months, take a look at this particular link here. Okay, now we understand that planning the timetable can be a little bit perhaps overwhelming, possibly, because we're thinking, how do I even plan my timetable, right? So what Carrie has done is, depending on what are your majors and your minors, we have actually a few possible combinations. So it's over here, okay? Suggested study plans. So for example, if you wish to do a chemistry first major with a second major in food science and technology, which is, I think this is the third link, you can go over there and take a look, and see how you might want to plan your timetable. So just to give you one example, okay, so it looks something like this. Of the different courses that you can take, and plan our timetable. Now, this is just an example. Okay? It's not supposed to be taken like a dogma. So please don't copy this strictly. Okay? This is just an example to show you how you might want to plan your timetable. It doesn't mean that you must follow this strictly. Yeah? Now, what else? If you go to this link over here, okay, course listing, it also shows you all the different courses that the department is offering you. Okay, of course, you have to do the essential courses, the CM11, CM21, CM31, okay, all the essential courses. But we have also a lot of elective courses, which we offer usually either in semester 1 or 2. Okay, we don't offer it in both semesters. So take a look at them and say, okay, look, these are all the interesting things which I will come across in the next 4 years. Just to take a look at it. Okay. Now, what else do we offer? Okay. Now, if let's say you want to take a photo of my slides, this is the slide to take a photo. Okay, because I think this slide sort of tells you what else do we have apart from offering you some courses. So the department offers 2 specializations for now. So specializations are meant for chemistry first majors. Okay, so you can do on top of doing your first major in chemistry, you can do a specialization in chemical research or a specialization in sustainable chemistry. So essentially, these specializations allow you to go deeper into these fields, into research and into sustainable chemistry. Yeah? The department, we are now also, is on the way to approval, a new specialization in medicinal chemistry, which we hope probably by the sometime in the end of this year, we will be able to offer it to all of you, okay? Now, we also have the undergraduate research program. So you work either 1 or 2 semesters in the lab of one of the professors, and you can get credits for it, okay? Internship programs, if you go to a NUS website called Talent Connect, you find all the different internships that are offered by the different companies. And many students go for internships typically in their 3rd year. Now, I want to add on here, and that is, if you happen to find a company that you wish to do an intern in, but this company has no previous connection with the NUS, it's still okay, okay? So you just have to let me know. And then we'll try to connect NUS with the company so that you can do internship with this company. Okay, so we have many, many different possibilities here. Student exchange program, I think most students will go for SEP in their 3rd year, okay? Typically 1st semester or 2nd semester. This is the usual. And then the department also offers immersion programs. For now, we are doing it in China, okay? In Suzhou and Shanghai. In fact, we were just there just 1 month ago. We were there in Suzhou and Shanghai with some of the students from chemistry and also some students from biology, okay, from the life science department. And then finally, of course, after you finish all your studies, you can also consider master's and PhD programs as well. Okay, but this is 4 years from now. Now, you probably would have seen this already, but I was told, and I think it's good to mention it to you. So the faculty just launched a new 2nd major and minor in computing. So this 2nd major and minor in computing is open to all students doing a 1st major in the sciences, okay? So if you go to this particular link over here, you can figure out, you can get all the information you want about this 2nd major and minor. So I will not say too much about it, but it's the latest offering by the Faculty of Science. Now, what is my take, okay? Because you may say, wow, geez, Jason, there's so much information. This is pretty overwhelming, right? I mean, what do I do? My suggestion is this, is that in the coming weeks before semester starts, in your 1st semester in the NUS, when you are probably a little bit more free, I think it's good to go around to try to talk to people, check out different websites to try to figure out all the different possibilities that we have in the NUS, in the Department of Chemistry, especially. Okay? And then try to figure out all these things so that in your second semester, your second year, third year, fourth year, you sort of know what you might want to do and you plan your timetable accordingly. Yeah? So this is my take, okay? Get to know people and try to figure out what's available for you. Say starting from now and especially in your first semester, in your first year in the NUS. Okay, I think that this is possibly the last slide. If you need any academic advice, okay, if there's something to do with the academic work, which and you feel that you need a bit of help, a bit of maybe an advice, please feel free to email me and Carrie Wong. Okay, we are here to help you. Okay, and I think that we'll be very happy to do so. Okay, I think this is it, right? Okay, this is my last slide. So I'm nothing else, and I think that it's good that we can open this up for some questions if there are any. Okay, yeah, thanks a lot. So I'm open for questions. Any questions for me? You can ask anything you want. Or maybe you can even use the chat function if you wish. It's fine as well for me. Any questions for me? Anything you want to know? Oh, okay. Well, I have a question here. Okay, I think I can just say it because it's sent to me directly, but I think it's nothing personal. Okay, so the question is, what is the username and password to enter the student portal for the chemistry portal? I think all of us would have a user ID, right? So, for example, my user ID is CHMYEOS. Okay, as you can see over here at the bottom. Oops, sorry. This is my user ID. Okay, and then the password is something that you create of your own. This is, if I'm not mistaken, I think it is the case. It's the same username and password that you use to check your emails. Okay, to check emails. Hope that answer your question. Yeah. What else? Okay. Hang on a second. Oh, actually, okay, quite a few emails here. Okay, there is a question here that says, if I'm keen to specialize in chemical research, when should I declare so that I'm able to cope with the workload? Okay, well, actually, you can declare it anytime you want. Really, you can declare it now if you wish in your first semester, or you can declare it later. Now, but declaring it doesn't mean that you know, in the end, you know, you have to stick to it, right? Then if you don't stick to it, I don't know, you fail or something like that. I mean, you can still drop it, okay? So I think you shouldn't worry too much. I think it's good to sort of to, at least this is my own personal opinion. Okay, I mean, different people have different ways of thinking about this. So, after I finished my national service, which back then was 2.5 years, okay, and then I come into the NUS, imagine after not studying for 2.5 years, I find it very, very difficult in my first semester, okay? So, and the advice that I was given is take your first semester a little bit slower, so that you can adjust back to the studying life, okay? And then after that, okay, after the first semester, I feel a bit more comfortable. You can take a little bit more courses and so on and so forth. Yeah, so I hope that answers your question. Now, the second question, okay, for a poly student, we need to take a bridging module. Can you kindly explain about it? Okay, now this bridging module is the course code is CM1417, and it's taken by students who are deemed not to have the equivalent of a H2 chemistry, okay? But if let's say you are from the poly and your poly diploma may have been deemed equivalent to a H2 chemistry, in which case you do not need to do the bridging module. So I think you have to check, okay? Because I don't think that all poly students need to do the bridging module. But anyway, in case that you need to do the bridging module, the course code is CM1417. So you take this bridging module, and after you've taken it, you pass the course, you can, in your first semester, for example, you can go on to do CM1102 in your second semester to join the rest of your friends. Okay, so let's just say the delay is about, say, 1 semester, okay, and that's it. So this bridging module really is, let's say, for example, it's really to try to give you, let's just say, A-level chemistry, okay. Can you share more about the immersion program? That's interesting. So essentially, this immersion program, for now, okay, we started this about a year ago. We are now in the second version. I mean, the second trip. So we spent about 10 days in Suzhou and Shanghai. So the idea here is we spend about 50 to 60% of the time looking at different companies. So this could be the chemical industries, the pharmaceutical industries, and just to see how the Chinese companies do their stuff. And then we spend about maybe 35% of the time is cultural, because it's very important to look at Chinese culture, okay? So you can go for visit the museums and look at all different Chinese art and all that. And then the rest of the time is a little bit of a free and easy. This course, this immersion program, which is SP2400CN, it is credit bearing. So we need you to do a little bit of homework, just give a presentation and, write a little reflective essay, and that's it, okay? And then it's worth 2 units, 2 credits. Hope they answer your question, Kelly. Okay, there's another question here, okay, and that is it certain that the chemistry elective modules offered now will continue to offer in subsequent years? And if modules currently not offered in this academic year will somehow be offered in the coming years? Yes, thanks for the question. So this refers to the electives, that means the CM32XX or the CM42XX. Usually, the courses that are offered, let's say this academic year, should be offered, let's say 3 to 4 years from now. It should be the case. But of course, what might happen is some of the professors who teach the course, maybe they go on sabbatical. So in which case, they are not in Singapore, so they cannot offer the course. Or it's also possible that we have new professors coming in, and they offer their own courses. So we have new courses as well. So, but in general, I would say that about 95% of the courses that you see today being offered this academic year will probably be offered 4 years from now, okay? Now, there's a question here that says, are there students who do UPIP, UROPS, and SEP? The answer is yes. Okay, I know of such a person. In fact, the person will graduate next week, okay? It is possible. But of course, you need to plan your timetable carefully so that you don't end up, hopefully not, extending one more semester and all that. There's a question here from a student okay. Is it possible to have more than one specialization? The answer is yes, it is possible, okay? In fact, okay, there is this thing called the double counting rule. That means if you do a major or a specialization or whatever, and there are some courses that are found that you have to do in both of these majors or minors and all that, there's also called double counting also, so it overlaps. So in other words, you actually do, so to speak, a little bit lesser courses than you need, okay? In the case of this department, chemistry, you can definitely do the specialization in chemical research and the specialization in sustainable chemistry. We have worked out all the combinations. So if you need it, just write me an email. Okay, I can show you all the different combinations that they can do. But it is definitely possible to do 2 specializations. No issue. Okay, so Carrie has answered. Do we need to register the bridging course ourselves, or will it be allocated to us? Okay, so Carrie has answered the question. Okay, we have a question here from Tiffany. Is it compulsory to take UROPS as part of the graduation requirements? Or can I choose to take UPIP, UTOP instead of UROPS? Yes, Tiffany, it is not compulsory to take UROPS as part of the graduation requirements. You can take UPIP, UTOP instead, okay? Yeah. This is just one of the possibilities. But, I think that it's very interesting to do UROPS during your stay here, because, I mean, this is the way I think about it now, because you are free to disagree with me, okay? But the way I think about this is when you are in a university, it gives you a very unique opportunity to do research, which probably you'll be hard to find it somewhere else, right? So why not use this opportunity to do a bit of research? Of course, you may like it, you may not like it. It's okay. I mean, I don't think everybody is suited, has a temperament that is suitable for research anyway. But it's interesting to, oh, UTOP's not counted. Okay, thanks, Carrie. But I think it's interesting to, have the experience, to just try it out. Or you can do UROPS and UPIP as well. It's up to you, really. Okay, good. Have I answered all the questions, or I missed out anything? Well, man, I don't know, man. Because I'm looking at my chat box now, so. Hey, Carrie, did I miss out anything? I hope not. Because I went down the list. Okay, I have 2 questions here, which I missed out earlier. How do we decide which chemistry modules we want to take in years 3 and 4 when there are so many interesting ones? Well, thank you for the question, okay? Indeed, there are many different possibilities. Maybe I will share my own experience. Okay, don't take it as a dogma. This is just my own experience, okay? Is that when I was in NUS, some years ago or many years ago, in my, of course, you need to do the so-called essential courses, the CM11 and the CM21 or the CM31 courses. But when you do these compulsory courses, it probably gives you a very good idea, a fairly good idea of the sort of chemistry that you want to spend a little bit more time on. And I think that this is when this is how you can choose your so-called elective courses, okay? Of course, some courses, or it may also depend on your own, perhaps career interest, right? So for example, if you say, hey, you know what, I'm going to work in the pharmaceutical industry after I graduate. So then obviously, if this is the case, you may want to, for example, do courses in, say, medicinal chemistry and so on, okay? So for myself, when I was an undergraduate, I was very fascinated with surface science, surface chemistry, catalysis. And so a lot of my elective courses were surface science, were electives in catalysis. I was also interested in inorganic chemistry, so I did all the inorganic chemistry courses. So it really depends. You're free to choose, okay? The second question is it good to get a minor in forensic science since I have interest in this field, but I'm not sure about the job opportunity in this field? Wow, I think this is a tough question, which I don't think I am able to answer this question. Probably it's good to ask Professor Stella Tan, because she's the coordinator of the forensic science. It's better to ask her. I think she can give you a much better perspective. Okay, there's a question here. In which years do people typically take UTOP? Is it more common to do it in year 2 or year 3? Wow. Good question. I think there are students who do it in year 2 and year 3. I have to say upfront, okay, that so far, for some reasons which is not clear to me yet at the moment, the UTOP enrollment is not super duper high. Okay, you may get one student during the semester, one student doing it at the most, but I think it's taken typically by year 2, year 3 students. More likely year 3, I suspect. Okay. There's a question here: is specializing in chemical research intensive? Is it intensive? A good question. Let's just say it's not going to Disneyland. Let's put it this way. I mean, obviously, something that is worth something always costs us something, right? I mean, if you feel that this is something that's good for me, it probably costs you a little bit. I think very frequently it depends on our own level of commitment. So if we are willing to commit, a lot to this project, yes, it's intensive, I agree, but you can also take a lot out of it as well, right? I mean, what you put in is what you take out of it. So if you spend many hours in the lab doing research, for sure, you're going to learn a lot and you can take a lot out of it. So it really depends on you, on yourself, okay? Okay. What's this? Can I? Ni hao, sorry. Benson, okay. I just joined. Where can I view the recording and slides? Hey, Carrie, where can this be viewed? Probably through some website, right? I presume. I think what will happen is after this is over, we will send the recording to the dean's office and then they'll put it up somewhere. Hey, Carrie, do you know where the website is? No response. Don't know where is she. Probably she's trying to figure out. Okay, later she'll probably type in the box. What else? If we want to do 2 specializations, when and how do we communicate that to the university? is it through CourseRec portal or through a separate email? I think CourseRec portal allows it, okay? Allows it. But in case CourseRec portal doesn't allow it, just write us an email and then we will facilitate this for you. Huh? No problem. So remember, once again, for everybody, okay, if there's some sort of a what I would call administrative issues, okay, like you want to do this, but for whatever reason, it seems to be impossible or there doesn't seem to be the possibility, please email me and Carrie, okay? We are here to help you. Of course, if you're trying to do a level 4,000 course without fulfilling the prerequisites, it's going to be hard to help you. But if it's just a administrative issue, we'll be very, very happy, okay, to give you a hand, okay, in this. What else? Hey, Carrie, are you there, Carrie?
Yes.
Do you know where the recordings and slides will be?
I think faculty will put up at their website. I
Okay.
will check with Haley later.
Yeah, it's okay. So Benson is probably somewhere in the website of the faculty, okay, somewhere. Yeah. Can SEP map modules be counted towards the specialization? The answer is yes, of course. If you can map it, it definitely counts towards the specialization, right? Yeah, of course, of course. You have any other questions for me? I hope I don't miss out anybody. Okay. If I miss out anybody, let me know. I hope I don't miss out anybody. Yeah. No other questions? Okay. Hey, Carrie, if there's no other questions, I think we can end here, okay?
Sure. Okay.
But to all of you, the freshmen, I think the department